Ladies and gentlemen, between Rigathi and Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who do you think is going to be the kingmaker let come 2027 presidential election? Because we have people who believe that 2027 it is Rigathi who is going to divine the person who is going to be the president of this republic. And when we are saying that Rigathi is actually going to divine who is going to be the president of this republic, we assume that Rigathi is not actually going to stop at presidency, but he is going to support somebody else. So that is actually the conversation I want us to have this evening. But before we dive in and try to dissect all about that, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like. Share the video to your friends. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always make sure to smash the bell button, because that is the only way you give YouTube permission to notify you so that you can watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. And I say thank you to those who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel. And now, let us come back to the discussion of the day. Who do you think between Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua, who is going to divine, who is actually going to be the president of this republic, let come 2027 presidential election? In other words, who is going to be the kingmaker let come 2027? Is it Rigathi or Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga? Now, let me start by explaining in separate ways how probably Rigathi Gachagua is actually perceived and is history, and also do the same to Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. We have those people with the school of thought that the person who is going to divine, the person who is going to be the president of this republic, is Rigathi Gachagua. And they believe that because Rigathi Gachagua now controls the entire Mount Kenya, and they believe that Rigathi Gachagua will not stop at presidency, but the fourth is actually controlling in the entire Mount Kenya and its diaspora. What I mean by saying the diaspora, the fourth from Laikibia, fourth from Nakuru. So the person who those people believe will be supported by Rigji, that person is actually going to win 2027 presidency. So we have people of that thought. But we also have people with a class of thought that it is actually Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga who is going to be the kingmaker, because they believe strongly that Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has stepped at presidency severally, and he has always gotten half of the votes of this nation. And at the same time, they say that during the Kibaki Tosha, it is Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga who handed presidency to Mwai Emilio Kibaki the late. And therefore they believe that the person who Right Honorable Raila Molo Odinga is actually going to support, let come 2027, that will be the person who will win presidency of this nation. But those individuals with the class of thought that it is Rigathi who is going to define 2027 presidential destiny, they believe that the people who have always supported Raila Amolo Odinga, they are not actually going to support Raila Amolo Odinga anymore, because they believe that the Kamba nation is gone, the Gusii nation is gone, and also they believe that some of the people from Luo Nyanza will not actually follow the directive of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why they believe that the only person who is going to define 2027 presidential election is actually Rigathi Gachagua, because they believe that is the only political leader who is going to command a lot of following from Mount Kenya and its diaspora. And the person that Rigiji will push, they believe that that person will definitely be the president of this republic. And now, on my own view, who do I think is actually going to be the kingmaker? Let come 2027. First, let me give you the calculation. Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has always influenced Luo Nyanza, and he has always influenced Western or part of the Western, and he has also always influenced the coastal 14. And therefore, if the Gusii nation is still gone, if the Kamba nation is also gone, I still believe that Raila Amolo Odinga is actually going to contribute greatly, because if we look at those regions which Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga commands, then we can say that it comes with huge following. And those huge followings, they actually hear the voice of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And therefore, if probably Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is going to support William Samoei Arap Ruto, let come 2027, then it's going to be very difficult for Right Honorable William Samoei Arap Ruto to be defeated. And from that aspect, I strongly believe that Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is actually the one who is going to define 2027 presidential election. Because if people look at Rigathi, we can say that Rigathi only has a huge following from only Mount Kenya and its diaspora. But Raila has in Nyanza and Luo Nyanza, part of Western, Coast, and Northeastern. So that's a big influence. And for those people who feel that people are going to leave Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, let me tell you, you will be shocked. And this narrative about the Gen Zs. Let me tell you, as we approach towards 2027 presidential election, you will find that many youths will actually move back to their voting pattern, which we call tribal voting pattern. And that is why the Gen Z factor is not going to matter so much. Let's come to 2027 presidential election, because in our history, there is no any other time a certain generation has largely influenced this so-called election. But you will find that as we approach towards electioneering time, you will find people, the young people, they fall back to their voting pattern, which is actually tribal in this republic. And that is why I believe that the Gen Zs from Nyanza, still they will follow Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. The Gen Zs from the Western, still they will follow Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga from that part where he commands. And also the Gen Z from the coast, they are actually going to follow the call of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why I believe that that Gen Z factor is not going to have much impact as we approach 2027 presidential election. You saw what has been happening in the Gen Z's group. You will see that some of the leaders of the Gen Zs who were at the front, they actually have fallen back to their tribal grouping. And that is why I believe that the Gen Z's factor is not going to influence so much. Let's come to 2027 presidential election. And therefore, the only situation where Rigathi Gachagua will be a kingmaker is if Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga decides to run for presidency. And if it will reach a moment and Raila Amolo Odinga says that I'm actually going to run for presidency, and at that moment we can say without doubt that Rig will actually definitely be the king maker. So that is the only scenario where I see Rig becoming the kingmaker. But if Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga cannot actually run for presidency, and also Rig can also not run for presidency, then the side which will be given a hand by Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, definitely that side will actually win presidency. And also let me try to tell you this. In this republic, you will find that if the people of Rift Valley, they work with the people of Mount Kenya, they will always produce a president. And also, if people of Rift Valley will work with the people from Nyanza, more so, the Luo nation, and other tribes, I don't say that they are useless. They will also come in, because you will find the Luo, they have other tribes which they influence. The same way you will find that the Kikuyu community have other tribes which they influence, like the Embu and the Meru. So if you will find that the Kalenjin and the Luos have come together, then they will definitely produce a president. And that is why in the politics of this republic, you will find that it is actually being controlled by 3 tribes mainly. That is the Kalenjin, the Kikuyu, and the Luos. If you find that these 2 tribes comes together, definitely they always produce a president. And if we find a Luo coming together with a person from central province, they will always produce a president. So Luo and Kikuyu, when they are together, they will always produce a president. And also, if you find that the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus, once they are also together, they will also produce a president. And that is why from that scenario, I'm saying that because now the Kikuyus are against the Kalenjins, and let come 2027, they are actually not going to support the Kalenjins. That means now Right Honorable is going to support the Kalenjins. And that is why we can say that the person who is going to determine who will be the president of this republic, it is actually Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I really don't know what's your say about all this. Who do you think is going to be, or who is going to determine the person who is going to be the president of this republic? Let come to 2027 presidential election. Is it Rigathi Gachagua, or is it Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute or 2 and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share this video, and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. And with that, I say thank you. God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.